Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into something that is literally rewiring how we work, learn, and, well, create. We're breaking down the pragmatic guide to ChatGPT. Now, if you've ever felt kind of overwhelmed by all the buzz around AI, or you're wondering how you're actually supposed to use it in your day-to-day life without needing a computer science degree, I want you to just clear your mind for a second. Instead of thinking about complex algorithms or futuristic sci-fi stuff, I want you to imagine simply hiring a brilliant, incredibly fast, but very literal personal assistant, because that is exactly what we're going to master today. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by officially meeting your new AI assistant. Then we'll unlock the power of prompts. After that, we'll look at some real-world uses, tackle the limitations and common myths, and finally, wrap up with why this skill matters so much for your future. Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1. Meet your AI assistant. Demystifying ChatGPT. At its absolute core, ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence assistant that was created to understand human language and just generate helpful responses. But to really grasp this, we kind of have to shift our mindset entirely. I mean, for the last 20 years, we've been trained to use traditional search engines, right? We type in a few jagged keywords, cross our fingers, and click through this massive list of blue links, hoping to find an answer. Well, this is entirely different. It's conversational. Instead of searching for a recipe website, you can literally just say, hey, I only have chicken, rice, and a lemon in my fridge. What can I make right now? And it talks back to you with a completely custom solution. The goal here isn't for the software to replace your human judgment. It's to act as a highly responsive partner to help you think, create, and work way more efficiently. So how does this actually work behind the scenes? It's essentially a really simple 4-step loop. Step 1, you write a prompt. That's your instruction. Step 2, the AI analyzes that request to figure out exactly what your intent is. Step 3 is where the real magic happens. The model generates a response, not by thinking the way you or I do, but by predicting the absolute best next words based on the massive patterns it learned during its training. It's basically a highly advanced, incredibly sophisticated version of autocomplete. And finally, step 4, which I think is uniquely powerful. The conversation doesn't just end there. You can continue with follow-up questions to refine the answer, correct it, or dig a little deeper. It's a totally fluid back and forth. Moving on to Section 2, the power of prompts, taking the steering wheel. You know, there's a massive difference between a frustrating AI experience and an incredibly useful one. And it all boils down to your instructions. If you throw out a weak, super vague prompt like, tell me about AI, you might get this overly technical, rambling 5-page essay back that doesn't actually help you at all. But if you refine that into a highly specific instruction, something like explain artificial intelligence to a complete beginner using simple English with real-world examples, the output changes completely. You instantly transform the AI from a disorganized encyclopedia into a patient-targeted tutor. The quality of what you get out is a direct reflection of the quality of what you put in. To get those consistently amazing results, you want to structure your prompts using a professional framework. Think of it kind of like giving a highly detailed brief to a contractor. First, you assign the AI a role, like professional YouTube script writer. Then, you give it a specific task, like write an educational documentary. Next, you define the audience, say beginners. You establish a clear goal for the piece. You set a tone, maybe friendly and engaging. Specify a length, like 10 minutes. And finally, you give it an output format, such as narration with chapter headings. By building your request this way, you remove all the guesswork. You're giving your assistant the exact context it needs to nail it on the very first try. Making this a daily habit is actually super easy if you keep a few basic best practices in mind. Always give context, because anchoring the AI in your specific situation prevents it from just spitting out generic advice. Don't overwhelm it. Ask one clear question at a time so it doesn't get confused and skip over parts of your request. If a topic is super complex, explicitly ask for examples or a step-by-step explanation. This actually forces the AI to structure its output logically. And remember, if that first answer isn't a total masterpiece, don't just give up. Treat it like a brainstorming session. Use those follow-up questions to ask for revisions, push back on ideas, or completely change the tone. Okay, Section 3, Real-World ChatGPT Uses, Integrating AI into Daily Life. The capabilities of this tech are huge, but they integrate really seamlessly into a few relatable daily categories. In the morning, you might use it for productivity, maybe researching a new market or organizing a messy daily task list. By midday, you're leaning on it for writing, having it draft that particularly sensitive email to a client you've been putting off. Later, you could use it for learning by asking it to summarize a dense 40-page industry report into just 3 quick bullet points. It can dive into programming to help untangle a broken piece of code, or jump into business strategy to help you outline a brand new project proposal. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine a YouTube creator staring at a blank, intimidating screen. Traditionally, coming up with a month of content could take days of exhausting creative energy, right? Instead, they don't just ask the AI for one idea. They ask it to generate 50 distinct video ideas, complete with potential titles and thumbnail concepts. Suddenly, a grueling 3-hour brainstorm becomes a highly interactive 15-minute workflow, and once they find that one golden idea they absolutely love, they seamlessly transition into asking the AI to outline it, and then expand that outline into a drafted script. The real magic here is that this technology acts like a mirror to whatever your specific profession demands. It doesn't force you into one strict way of working. A university student might upload a dense historical text and ask for a simple conversational breakdown to help them study. A freelance graphic designer uses it to polish up their project proposals, so they sound a bit more professional before sending them to a high-end client. A busy teacher leans on it to build out weekly lesson plans, while a small business owner uses it to draft an entire month's worth of marketing copy. It completely adapts to you. But, and this is a big but, we need to ground this a bit in Section 4, Limitations and Common Myths, a dose of reality. We absolutely have to talk about the critical limitations you need to keep in mind. First and foremost, it can make mistakes. It is highly confident, but sometimes it is confidently incorrect. If your prompt is vague, it's probably going to misunderstand you. Sometimes it just trails off and gives you an incomplete answer. But most importantly, and I cannot stress this enough, it should absolutely not be trusted blindly for medical, legal, or financial advice. Important facts must always be verified using reliable outside sources. Your human judgment is and always will be the ultimate safety net. It is so crucial to separate the internet hype from reality right now. There's this common myth that AI just knows everything, but the reality is that it can absolutely be wrong and always requires fact-checking. A lot of people are terrified it's here to completely replace human workers, yet the reality shows that AI is actually most effective when it's combined with human creativity and judgment. It gives you the rough draft, but you bring the final polish. And finally, there's a myth that you can just type a quick 3-word command and get a masterpiece. But as we've already seen, detailed, highly structured prompts are what actually unlock those truly useful, professional-grade responses. Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Why This Skill Matters, the Future of Work and Learning. Look, AI is fundamentally changing how we communicate, how we create content, and how we solve complex problems across virtually every single industry. Mastering this tool isn't just a neat little party trick to save a few minutes here and there, it is rapidly becoming a vital digital skill. By understanding how to clearly communicate with these systems, you eliminate the drudgery of repetitive work, you organize your thoughts incredibly fast, and you drastically speed up your overall workflow. Those who embrace this aren't just saving time, they're upgrading their fundamental value in the marketplace, and they're gaining a massive advantage as this technology gets woven into literally everything we do. Ultimately, mastering this tool really just comes down to one powerful truth. ChatGPT is a brilliantly flexible, highly capable assistant, but the heavy lifting still lives entirely with you. The software is only half of the equation. The actual quality of your results depends entirely on your specific prompts, your unique human judgment, and your careful verification of the facts. It is a tool designed to amplify your capabilities, definitely not replace your oversight. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Now that you know how to give clear instructions, assign roles, and use this technology as an interactive sounding board, how are you going to use AI to enhance your own unique skills today? Think about that one tedious, frustrating task you have hanging over your head this afternoon. How might a detailed